Welcome to my channel. I thought I'd turn the camera on today, and I'm working on my next junk journal, and I'm got the signature ready. This is going to be the cover. This is the inside. This is the outside, and I am working on the signatures, putting pockets and tucks and this and that on it. And I just thought I'd turn the camera on as I was working on what I was going to do. I can never decide if I should sew it in and then do this or do it without. This time I've decided to do it without. And I've got the first part of the signatures I've been working on, and now I'm going to go further in and look for some spots. I'm stenciling a little bit. I've got a pile that I made of different types of pockets that we can use. This is a little pocket and a coffee filter pocket. I find with the coffee filters that I back it with tracing paper, because if I don't, it just seems a little bit too flimsy to me. So a lot of these, you can hear the crinkle. Just an embossed postcard that I'll make into a pocket, and a glassine bag that I make myself out of tracing paper. Let's show the back. See, I just glue the edges and make my own. And we'll decide where to put some of these things. And then I have some clusters that I like to tuck in different places, and you can make tucks out of the clusters, but you'll see them as we look through. And then I'm also got a Tim Holtz stencil that I'm using to stencil on different spots that I think look a little blank. So I already put that one on. I try to, if I have a blank page or too much blank, like that's kind of blank and that was blank, I try to put a tuck spot in so that most pages have something. Especially the blank pages have a little something on them. So this one I'm not decided yet whether I'm going to put something more on it. It's got the lace, it's got the stenciling. Plus another thing is looking at the pages together. I'll put this up further. Looking at what they look like when you open them up, what each side looks like is kind of a way to go. And then I also, doing this because I like to have something on most pages, I'm always trying to make things less bulky, lighter, because it gets quite chunky. So this should hopefully end up being a little tuck. This was a cluster and a flower that I put there. And sometimes if you get started on the front of the signature, you end up with a whole bunch of stuff, and then you don't have stuff at the back of the signature. So right now the middle signature is taken care of. I put some lace pockets in it, so that's taken care of. So we're about right in here. And see, I have something heavy on this side, so I wouldn't want to put something real heavy down here. If I put anything on these pages and it's kind of blank here, I would put something up in here. So, and plus that evens out how the book closes. If you put everything at the bottom, it gets real bulky at the bottom, so you want to spread it out. You can put it here or up here. So that would mean probably something more like a cluster here or up here. And then you look at your colors for what's on this side of the page and this side of the page, and what kind of sets it off as being nice. And this is a little fabric. I kind of like that. That's a little fabric thing I sewed when I was sewing. I'm not sewing. I hand sewing now. I'm not machine sewing anymore, because me and the sewing machine don't get along. Ooh, I like that one. Right there. That's the one I'm going to use right now. And then I'm going to stencil a little bit here too. So I think I'll stencil first. Let's see, what was the stencil we used last? Both of them. So I think I'm going to go with this one, and you just sort of put it any direction. I don't know if you guys have seen, there's a new thing going around the craft world where you use these makeup brushes, and they're really great for stenciling. I don't know if you've tried stenciling before, where you get a big blob of dark and then light when you use foam things, but this is just, I love it. So I got these at Walmart for less than $2, a package of 3 of them. These little brushes, and they come in different sizes. And you can use it for doing the edges too, but I wish they made these stencils a little bigger. So there we got some. I'm going to do it again right here. Trying to make it not quite so even. Get a little bit of the curl in there. That's pretty good. Now let's look at our, I think it needs a little more. Let's put a little bit more down here. Kind of make it taper off or something. Yeah, I like that. I'm using the Distress Oxide Vintage Photo is what I'm using to put on the stencil. Let's see. Do we want it with the lace sticking out? Yeah, I think we'll have it with the lace sticking out. So we're just going to glue it right along here, and it should make a little tuck too. My glue is almost gone. I have another one here if this one doesn't want to do its thing. I'm using Aleene's Tacky Glue. I would use Fabric Tack, but that stuff sticks to everything. I do use it, but I just use it on certain things. Really, I'm getting to the point where I just love the Aleene's. It just does everything, so why bother getting anything else? So I'm making this come off the edge a little bit. And we should be able to tuck something in there later on. Now with everything, this is building layers, so excuse me. So you might come back and say, oh, I think it needs a little more. It needs a little something over here. But you're just starting out and putting some stuff just like you do with these. You might even say that this cluster needs something a little more. But once you put ephemera in there, that is going to add to the page too. So, all right, and then whenever you're doing this with all the pages together like this, the glue always seeps out over the edge, and then you get 2 pages stuck together. So you want to kind of watch that as you go on to the next one. So, alright, now we're going to go this next page. Now there's a lot of blank stuff going on here. So I want something here and I want something here. And I don't think, this has some, a light pink coloring on it. I don't even remember what I did to it. I think I must have inked it with Kool-Aid, I think. I don't smell the cherry though, but maybe I used Lindy's ink Real Light. And so I want to keep that. So I don't think I'll stencil on that. So if I'm going to stencil, this is going to be an envelope pocket that I'm going to make, and I'm going to embellish it quite a bit. So I'm not going to do too much with that. I think I'm trying to decide if I want to stencil it now, because I don't know how I'm going to embellish it. I'll be cutting this open and making a flap and putting some stuff on it. I think I'm going to go ahead and stencil it, because I got the stencil stuff out here. It could not hurt anything. I might end up covering it up. You never know in the end. let's just put a little bit of this on here so it gets us started. We're talking about those layers of things. Envelopes can be kind of difficult because you have a lot of sides to... Oops, I moved my stencil. I wonder what that'll do. Probably look weird. Let's have to see. No, it's not too bad. Oh, I think it's pretty. So on this side, it's pink. So that's kind of nice. Let's see what else we got. And these don't have to be tucks. These things don't have to be tucks. They can just be on there. Because see, this has already got some lace. Oh, I kind of like that right there. I'm trying to decide if I want to make it a tuck. I think I'd just rather just glue it all down. Yeah, right like that. And this, you know, I might just leave it like that. Maybe do the edges a little inking and just leave this side and then decorate this side a little bit more. But I think I'm just going to glue this one all the way down, and I didn't bring my stick glue. So we will use some more of this. I'm going to close this up while we're not using it. If I had my stick glue, I'd probably just use my UHU glue for this. I got a big glue blob or a piece of fabric or something here. Set this off to the side. Now, one thing I noticed is it's a cluster. It's one of those clusters where I just took 5 things and stapled it together, so it's not, the cluster itself is not glued down, so I think I'm going to have to glue that a little bit too so that it stays down. So we'll put a little glue on the back, some spots so it stays glued down. Check out some of these. Speaking of clusters, I was thinking, I haven't noticed anybody. What if you use these clusters just on tags? What if you just like made a bunch of clusters, made a tag, and just stuck it to the tag so that there's your collage on the tag? Or there's your collage on the journal card. And that's it. I always see the clusters used like putting on pages. But you could put these on tags too and journal cards. I haven't tried it yet. But I think, you know, sometimes it can be hard collaging tags and things because it's a big area. And clusters aren't as hard. And when you're done, you're always like, oh wow, that ended up cool. Most of the time. I see this one sticking up a little bit. You know, I suppose we could have used that as a tuck, huh? Tuck some more stuff in there. Hopefully you guys can hear me. This webcam isn't the greatest in the world. Get up here where you can see. So for right now, we're going to leave that. And I'm going to decorate that later. And this one. I think I'm going to put a swirl on this one. And I think I'm going to try, this stencil has all this swirl. I think I'm going to try just putting a little bit of this on there around. That makes it just a little bit different. And since I can do this better with this makeup brush, maybe I can get a little bit more intricate on just the parts I want to use and not use. I know you can tape them off, but who has time for that? Let's just see what it looks like. Well, that's kind of cool. So let's do it again. Right here. I just love this new Distress ink. The Distress Oxide, I hadn't used it before. And I had got a gift card for Christmas, and I went to Hobby Lobby and I said, well, I'm going to try some of this stuff. Oh, I overlapped. I've never done that before. Still, it's not too bad. Let's see if I can not overlap this time. And so I tried some, and I'm like, oh, I'm in love with this stuff. It's not as sharp as the other, as the unoxide, or the regular Distress ink that is Vintage Photo. Actually, I guess I usually use walnut stains, so I suppose there would be a difference. But I like that. It looks pretty good. Now, I'm not sure what I'm going to put on this page yet or not, because I have another page before the center signature here. And there's pockets here. So I'm thinking here what I want to do. I don't know, the pockets will be filled with things, so I wouldn't probably want to put a pocket down here because of the center signature. So I don't know what I want to put on those. I'm actually going to bypass this for a minute. Think about it, because I haven't done much on the back half of this. So let's get back here and do a few back here, because you don't want to spread it out. Oh, I did do these pages. This I slow stitched. Took some fabric and stitched it all together, which I think turned out really cute. And this is a little glassine bag, and I can stick something behind there. I'm going to stick something through there so it'll be back behind there. So I guess I did get a few of these pages, but not very many. So then just flip around. I need one for a big bag. I've got these bags, so okay, I like this page. Let's put one of these on. Either this one or this one. And I actually like the colors with this. My color, you guys can't see the colors as great as I can because webcams just are rotten for colors. But this pink picks up this. It's got a little peachy pink in it. So, and this is a bag. And since I got it here, I'm only going to glue like right here. And if I wanted to, I could stick something behind it. I don't have to, but it's available later on if I decide I want to stick something back there, or if anybody who gets the journal wants to stick something back there, they have a place to stick it. So I like Yvonne Preston's of Junk Journal Junkies idea. She makes a bunch of bags and tucks and things first, and then she has a pile of them, and she goes through and she puts them in her journals. Now, I think she does it a little bit more strictly, like she has 2 pockets, 2 tucks, 2 corner, you know, like that. I'm not that strict on that, which there's nothing wrong with that. That's great. But I've gotten into the point where I'm making these first, and then I just sort of stick them in places. One of the pluses of doing it without the cover on is you got to press them down, and then you're not crushing the front of your cover, which is one reason why I thought I would do it this way, because the last journal I made I kept pressing down and thinking, oh, you're going to crush that rose on the front, so I had to be real careful. And you do have to hold it down for a minute. Now, that's one thing about Fabri-Tac. Fabri-Tac, you don't have to do this. Fabri-Tac sticks immediately. So, I think that's pretty good, and I don't think anything's going to come off the edges, and hopefully that stayed on. My computer screen went black for a second. I don't think anything's going to come, glue going to come off the edges and stick on anything, so I don't feel any glue. You always want to kind of keep going back where you glued and check and make sure nothing's sticking, or you'll come back and you'll go, oh my goodness, it's sticking together. Make sure nothing's sticking. So we like that pocket. And here's another fabric strip that I hand stitched up, and then I glued that joy on there, which is actually kind of fun. I used embroidery thread. I'm not sure if I'm going to cut that little string off or not. It all adds texture. Okay, we want something on this side. I think we're ready for a cluster. So this side of the page is really pink. You don't have to have pink, but you can. Let's see, this got some yellow in it. Let's see. What have I got here? You guys have seen this one. I had this one out before. Oh, that's kind of cute. I made these clusters, and then I had I was gessoing some stuff. Oh, I forgot to tell you. So on these pages here on the, oh, I didn't do it on that one. Anyways, on some of these pages, on this, I lightly gessoed over to make it more softer, to make it softer. And I had a bunch of gesso left, so I gessoed over the clusters. So they're really light. The gesso, so it makes it not quite so bright, it makes it more softer. Kind of a cool thing. And then I tried to put some little blobs of gesso around. I don't have them on these, but just playing with paint basically. So I kind of like this one. And we might as well try to make a tuck out of it. So we're just going to glue up in this area. I mean, if you can make a tuck, you might as well make a tuck. And then we're going to glue down this side. Okay. That should make a little tuck. And I might or might not stencil all pages. Like this one has some coffee staining that looks kind of interesting. I could put a little stencil here. I might come back and do it, I might not. I don't think that you need to stencil every single page that doesn't have. Sometimes the coffee staining can be its own stencil, so. That's just my opinion. Everybody, they all look beautiful. If you want to stencil every page, it'll look great. It's just, I don't even know why I think that, but that's just what I think. So, that's what we're going to do. Okay, we need this one. I want a pocket or something. We need something lower. I think she's pretty. Look at her. She'll be covered up with some ephemera. I think I made this a triple pocket. So it's there. It's there. Oh, you guys probably can't see. It's there. It's here. And then I'll probably make it behind too. And on that page, those colors, that's kind of browny, and that's kind of got a little, that looks good together. Okay, another one. And this one we're just going to do where you could tuck something behind. You know, I should have stenciled a little bit. I love this one that I just did here, where I stenciled first and then I put the pocket over it, and it looked like the stencil was kind of coming out. I don't know if you can do that after you glue it down. Probably not. And you can decide to leave this little part sticking out at the bottom or not. Do or don't. I don't know. I think maybe I won't. I will. There's so many decisions. Should I or shouldn't I? Yeah, I wish I would have stenciled a little bit up in here. I'm going to do it anyways, and we'll see what happens, but it would look cool if it was like going underneath. So I've got some glue coming out, and then it's sticking in other places. You always want to push it down. Hold it down for a minute. Alright, let's... wonder if I could just stencil over the top of the dang thing. What if I just, like, do a little stencil right into there? Since I didn't do it behind. Like, let's see. Start down here. I bet you that'll work. Let's see what happens. It works. You can see, you guys probably can't because it's not close enough, but there's a little bit of the stencil right there. So it still looks like it's coming up from behind. I love it. And I'm going to do some over here. We're going to be really crazy. Let's see. How do I want to do this? This is going to go actually on the napkin, on the doily I have over there. I don't know what that's going to do. See, as I've said before, you have to just be brave. But see, if it's not sewed in, is another reason not to worry, because you can just take this whole page out. Ooh, see, there's another reason to do it when it's not sewed in. So let's see what this looks like. Oh, you guys, I kind of like that. Look at that. Look at that. That's cool. Now, what do you think? I don't know. Not very much room. It looks kind of off. I wonder if I could just put a little swirl. Let's try a little swirl. There's a designer's thing about doing things in threes. Let's see. Oh, good enough. Just a little bit. So there. We discovered something new. At least I did. See, I had these doilies on there, and it just picked up that ink, and that made it really cool. And this one, I have a butterfly somewhere stencil. Where'd I put it? Oh, I had it here. I'm looking for it. Here it is, underneath all the clusters. And I'm going to put a little butterfly on here. On this. Here we go. So I love it. Yes. See what we did with just a little bit of, made a pretty good spread. So I got to cover up my ink. Remember to cover up the ink. Alright, make sure that this is sticking. The stiffer paper, which this is because it's got the coffee filter, and always is the ones that you really have to watch it, they're going to stick. Okay. That's got some good coffee staining on it. Definitely want something on this page. See, it's getting fat. Alright, what do we want on this page? Let's see. I'm going to actually think about doing two. Well, I have this little thing. This is another little thing I sewed. I just took some fabric and sewed a little rosette on it. I just sewed right in the middle of the rosette. Put some embroidery thread right through the middle. Let's see. I'm always looking for pink. I need to get away from pink. It doesn't need to be pink. But blues isn't really the best one for this one. I kind of like it. I think this one's too big. See, I'm thinking of using two. That's upside down, it won't work. And I can't decide if I want to or not, so you guys are just gonna have to watch while I fiddle with this. Well, that would be sideways, so that would not work. This is too, I think this is too blue. Yeah, it's too blue. This is too, let's just go this way. No. And I think she's not the right direction. That's too much. So one of the things, I guess, is if you're looking for to put two on a page, you might not want too much. This one or this one. And you guys are going to be like, that one, and then I'll pick the other one, and you'll be like, no, 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 not that one. Not that one. I like that. Yes, let's do that. Let's do that. And this is embossed, and then I put some artesian beeswax on it that makes it shiny. So, and I didn't do really cool pocket edges with the where you fold it over and it makes it a little deeper, so you have a little more room. So this is going to be a tight pocket when it's done. This was just a postcard, I guess. Oh, I know. It was an index card that I gessoed. And then I embossed with the die cutting machine. So we're not going to put any stenciling on this page. We're just going to leave it like so. Oh, and that was just a little fabric cluster that I made with a button, and I stuck it on there. So see, you can make clusters, and you can make fabric clusters, and you can make clusters, and you can make strip clusters, and then you can just take a piece of paper or an index card, and you can put some stuff on it, and you've got a pocket. You're not stressing about it. I tell you, the most stressful thing of making a journal, well, the two most stressful things in making a journal is the cover, trying to get the cover right, oh my gosh, and then sewing it in. The rest is all fun. So I'm just going to glue the whole back of this. And if I had some Fabri-Tac, I'd probably use that, but I don't have any over here, and I'm not going to leave to go get it, because you guys don't want to see, you want to keep seeing my hands, right? It's important. Okay. I honestly don't think that most people look through the whole video anyways. Not like watch it from the beginning to the end. So, well, you know, we'll just leave that up there. That's texture. I was going to glue that down. I might later. We'll see. We shall see. So there's the page right before the end. And something will tuck inside there. So, make sure that there's no glue. See, there's some glue sticking out here. And if I close that page, it'll stick to the other one. So you guys get the idea. I'm going to keep going with this and let you guys go for today. I hope we figured something out. We learned a couple things. I learned some stuff. Boy, every time I do something, I learn something. And I see a lot of people saying they have trouble embellishing, and I honestly have trouble embellishing too. I don't think I embellish enough, and I'm trying to embellish more. Because the people that I like, when I look at their journals, they have a lot of embellishments on them. So I am on a quest to find ways and to get pages embellished more and more intricate. There are people that just like do a whole bunch on a page. They like, I don't even know how they, well, they had tip outs, and then they go in, and then they have all this stuff on it, and I don't know. It's step by step. Right now I'm just embellishing each page more, and I might, just like, I guess, suppose like clusters, I might build that up. Oh, so this page is gessoed over a little bit, so it softened the paper. And I just love that paper. This is from Antique Papery on, not that one. That one is mine. Not that one. When we get to another one, I'll show you. This stuff. This is from Antique Papery on Etsy. Really good prices and beautiful paper. Beautiful paper. And this is from an art book. One of those Bob Ross art books. Anyways, so I got some more embellishing or page embellishing to do. As you can see, I still have lots of blank pages here. So I'm just going to flip to the end, and then we'll stop the video and call it a day today. And there. And there. I think this is going to be one of my favorite pages. This is from an old needle book. This is actually not printed out. This is actually from the book. It's not a print of it. And that's actual old music paper too, not printed out. So it's got some actual old ephemera in it. Okay, and that's, I just sewed the back of that so that it made it lighter. And plus it feels good. I used more chalk, more baby powder or chalk in my gesso to make it, and it feels really nice. Anyways, I'm going to let you guys go today. Thank you for hanging with me for now, and I hope to see you soon. Well, we'll see you when the journal is done, if not before. So have a great day, everybody.